There's an aspect of parenting that very few people talk about openly. In fact, it can become quite a secret that is full of shame and guilt for parents. When a child is struggling emotionally or behaviourally, the stress can ripple through families. It gets into every aspect of daily routines, into work, impacts relationships, your sleep. Over time, this exhaustion builds, and people's patience becomes shorter, and things start to feel more overwhelming. And people feel like, and particularly parents feel like, they're responding more snappily and aggressively. When this happens, a really difficult feeling can begin to surface, which is resentment. Resentment, and which is about anger and frustration and the inability to express truly how you're feeling, but that actually your child is driving you to this place. This often is followed by feelings of shame and guilt because resentment really challenges the unconditional love that we have for children at the same time. And parents often feel deep shame and guilt that they feel this way, and maybe that they actually don't like the way their child is being. There's a common belief that parents must be good and patient and compassionate all of the time. But we also know that's not true. It can't be like that. When people are under prolonged periods of stress, our nervous system moves into protection mode. This reduces our ability to give empathy and increases our irritability because we're going into threat mode. Stress is a threat response. What then happens is consistently, if that threat is coming from your child, it begins to reduce the empathy and compassion that you have for your child. Whilst you recognize they're struggling and their behaviors and their distress is because of a reason, we're unable to get close to them. This can also be termed block care. And this is where a parent has been emotionally flooded for too long and their ability to be calm is actually reduced. The fear here can be that this resentment and block care is damaging your relationship beyond repair. Actually, resentment is a signal, it's not the final verdict, but it's a signal that support is needed for your family and for you and the child. So there's three things that I want you to think about in terms of resentment and how it comes up in families. Firstly, resentment is often rooted in fear. A fear for that the situation won't change, a fear that your child's future is now impacted beyond any ability to pull it back, or that maybe there's a fear that things will get worse. And when you're unable to truly express this frustration becomes bigger, and then your resentment builds. Secondly, resentment thrives in isolation. It's really normal as a parent to withdraw more socially if your child is struggling because you feel that your parenting skills are being judged and actually you're actually being misunderstood. So without support, your stress becomes more compounded and this leaves you struggling more and your emotional ability is even further depleted. The third thing is that resentment can shift when our understanding of this increases. When parents are able to function a bit more and they're able to see what's happening with their child and your child's behaviour, then things begin to change. Where behaviour might look like defiance, you can see the distress more. And a shift in perspective helps you understand your own emotional reactions and helps you to build connection with your child. In therapy, we're not just looking about how we can regulate a child's emotions and reduce stress. We're also wanting to support parents to notice their own triggers and to be able to get this reflective space so it restores your empathy, reduces your feeling of resentment, and leaves you feeling more confident and positive for the future. When this changes, the family dynamic changes. And sometimes with parents in only a short amount of sessions, the change can be quite profound. If you're struggling with a child in your home where the stress levels reaching points of frustration that is blocking how you'll feel about your child, then maybe it's time to reach out to get some structured support. Finding a child therapist can support you in this without judgment. You don't have to do it on your own. And all you need to do is maybe send an email, a direct message, or give them a call and talk a bit more about your family situation. And even in that one contact, you might begin to get more clarity and understanding for the things that you're experiencing.